got a nice quick glimpse there of Edwards there spinning. Welcome everyone to this, the final round of the inaugural GT Sport hashtag Track Addict SBR Super DTM series. There's a look at some, what is that? Is that some trees or something like that? Some might be. Anyways, I am your commentator tonight. Sean is as usual commentating on this, and this is, like I said, the final round. We are racing out the mountain at Bathurst. Mount Panorama is the venue for the finale, and already some interesting moments that have happened during the day. Before I will get into detail with what's happened, I'll give you a rundown on how the championship points look going in towards the finale. So Sean Cool leads the way on 162 points, then followed by Ben Milton, who is only 9 points back, which I think is the largest gap this whole season between first to second. It's been 9 points. And then Rob Adams, as we've seen Callum Cripps getting it all wrong. Third is Rob Adams on 140 points, so he's 22 adrift of the leader. Then Callum Cripps, who we're looking at right now, he's got up to 4th place after picking up his first win last week at Suzuka. Lewis Edwards in 5th with 126. Then it's his the second of his teammates, Liam McEwen, in the Pennzoil Nissan, 114 points, and Adam Piper down to 7th place in the championship after a miserable Suzuka last week. He's on 100. Coleman Corkery is on 90 points. Schauler on 60. Alex Austin on 57. Luke Clifford, who looked it all right at Suzuka. And there's someone else going into the pit lane, so let's have a look at Corkery. On 53 points, Paris Fakis on 47, Brian Ross on 34, but I think both of them to have yet to join just yet. John Riley on 27, and Mark Thompson on 24 points. For the constructors or the teams championships, we have ourselves a new points leader, and that is Pennzoil. Pennzoil lead the way on 293 points, and they have got 3 points ahead of the Playboy Team Bunnies Lexus. And third in the team's championship is D2 with 271, as we're looking at Corkery in that D2 Nissan. 4th is Calsonic with 246, and in last place Zent, who has actually caught up now to the other teams above them. They're now on 231 points, as we're looking at Corkery again, all wrong, going into the pits. And now let's have a look at Luke Clifford. Someone he actually said give us a shout out, so there you go. If you want a shout out, here it is. Luke C883! There's a shout out. I know I'm being completely wide, my apologies. So, the finale here, it is a double points round. We're only going to be doing one round around here. Normally it's been 2, but for this race alone, it's just a 1. And it is double points. So normally it's 25 for a win, 22 for second, 20 for third, but instead it's going to be 50 points for a win, 44 for second, and 40 for third, and so on, all the way down to 15th place, which they will pick up 2 massive points. Now, some big implementations has gone into the championship already, and it is a big name too. Well, we'll leave that one to second, but John Riley, which is the third drivers of the Team Bunnies Playboy Lexus, is not going to compete tonight. He is down in England, probably not enjoying the food down there in Liverpool, like he said on his Facebook, so I don't think he's going to be showing up, unfortunately. But the big news is the man that's second in the championship, Ben Milton, is not racing tonight. It's his father's birthday, and he's got family all around his house, probably playing musical chairs or musical statues, and, you know, heads down, thumbs up over at the house. But anyway, very happy many returns to Ben's father. But obviously that's a massive blow to what could be a thrilling championship finale. So Ben Milton is pretty much out of it, and it's also really dented Playboy's chances to win the team's championship, because only Adam Piper is going to be the lone driver in that team. So it's basically gifted Pennzoil the team's championship. So now Looking at the points here, the gap between Cool to Edwards is 36 points. So, and then Liam McEwen is on 114 points. Realistically, there is 5 drivers that can mathematically win the championship. Well, now it's down to 4 with Ben not participating. So you've got Sean Cool, who's now got a 22-point lead ahead of Rob Adams. Then Callum Cripps will be 3rd in the championship, and then Edwards, who is still within touching distance of winning the championship. But he's got to have an awful lot of luck going his way. Let's actually have a look at another one here. There is Rob Schowler just going through the S's and then going down to the dipper. Qualifying is going to be done in 5 minutes time, and it's usually reverse order in the team's the team's points will go first. So it'll be Zent will go first out, then Calzonic, which we're looking here with Rob Schowler, currently 6th fastest, setting his first few laps on this track. Then D2 will be 3rd out, Playboy will be 4th out, well, only Adam Piper will be 4th out, and then the Pennzoil boys will be 5th and out. 32 laps around here. Technically you can do this on a free stop. Also notable changes here, drivers must not use the hard tyres. So everyone will be most probably be using, oh right, there you can see there Liam with the qualifying order. Obviously the ones that's pixelated, that is Playboy, just to let you know that. So let's have a look then at Mark Thompson, 158.219. We have seen him on a couple of occasions in the Touring Car Classic back in Season 1. And there is Brian Ross. So we've got all 3 of the Zent boys all racing. Don't forget, give this race a thumbs up. And let's see the comments here. Good evening all. Ash is also here. Does somebody have a Codemo for my ears? Oh, that was that because of the shout out. There you go, yep. Terrible that they couldn't saw stand-ins for the event. No, well, I mean, it would have been nice there. I think at least they'd give Playboy at least a chance to fight with Pennzoil for the championship. But like I said, you know, I think with Ben and John not participating and only Piper's the lone racer for Playboy, it's pretty much handed the team's championship over to Pennzoil. But D2 can finish 2nd, and if Calzonic gets a great run here, which Thompson now struggling around at the S's, they could probably finish ahead of the Playboy team. So there you go. Chris Clements there saying, if I wasn't in paternity leave, I would be jumped in the car. I love this track. Ah, well, you see. Maybe you should have had the going with the missus like a couple of weeks afterwards. Then you should have been racing around here. But I think Callum was also saying in the chat there that he's got a fan in Chris Clements who's in here watching. So you know, no pressure on Callum there for his new hero, Chris Clements. So we've got about 2 minutes to go until the start of qualifying for the finale of the inaugural championship. No sign of Paris. Is Paris in here yet? We've got 12 races in here, but we've got no sign of Paris. Yeah, Chris says go Callum. Yep, indeed. So this is the man that's fastest in practice at the moment there. Is pretty much always, actually, is Lewis Edwards. And you can see there Rob Adams actually quicker than Sean Cool at the moment, it would seem. So let's do some, I want to get my mathematics cap here and see what is the deal around here. So Rob is sitting on 140 points and Cool is sitting on 162. So the gap is 22 points. So Adams has to win the race and hope that Sean will finish 7th or lower. If he finishes in 6th place to Sean, they'll be tied on points. But Sean has got 2 wins to his name to Rob's 1 if he does win this race. So therefore Sean would win the championship because he's got 1 more win more than Rob. So like I says, if Sean was to finish 7th or lower, then Rob can win the championship. Callum Cripps, he is 28 points back. And I said that Edwards is 36 points back, but Edwards needs a lot of luck going into after this race. So the time is now 8 o'clock. We've got 7 people that are watching, and we've got 3 likes. Hopefully we get a few more along the way. Yellow flags have been shown at Murray's Corner. We'll have a look at a guided lap. Someone's doing donuts just past that Hill Corner. Who could that be? And it is Edith Schauler, who's having some moments at after Hill Corner. Moves out of the way for Adams to go by. Well, we should get qualifying underway. It's past 8 o'clock, so like I says, the point the team order of coming out for qualifying is Zent, Calsonic, D2, Playboy, and Penzo. For those who are new to the championship, you know, where on earth have you been? You know, and there we go. Now we have started the qualifier. Just to recap the how the qualifying will take place. I'm trying to open up my notebook here. There we go. So basically, this is qualifier. This is a one-shot qualifying. Cars go out in teams. Once the last team car crosses the line, the next team cars leaves the pits. Also, cars both space out and not slipstream, and whatever they start is on the qualifying tyres. So at the moment, you know, there's no hard compound tyre, so therefore, you know, they'll all race on the soft tyres. And also, this also goes to the rule that hard tyres must be used for the quarter distance in both races. Not in this case, so it's only just the one race. It's 32 laps around Mount Panorama, and the tyre wear is at ×6. The fuel is on ×4. So again, you can make a free-stop strategy. I'll know there'll be some drivers that will opt to go for 4, maybe the safe bet. But I did see Rob do 8 laps on soft, so I'm thinking Rob has to go 3 stops here. Anyways, we're looking here at Rob, currently 3rd in the championship. We'll have a guided lap on board with Rob. I'm just trying to get the track up as well, so I get to know the corner names, because it is pretty difficult. Apologies there, that was just cleaning me glasses. So we're looking then at Rob Adams, just going in towards the chase. Absolutely flat out through there, and brake really hard. And then he's going in towards Murray's Corner. So let's actually ride on board with the man that's 3rd in the championship. So across the start-finish line we go to start a hot lap around Bathurst. It's quite a short start-finish straight. Brake about the 75 metres into turn 1, Hill Corner, 2nd gear, 75 miles an hour, 3rd gear on the exit. Now we go slightly up the hill towards the mountain straight. Here we go, it's just going over the hill. You can see how narrow this track is. Cars are going to go very impossible going 3 abreast around here. Now brake about 100 metre board for turn 2, Griffins, 3rd gear, little tinker with the throttle. And now we're going in towards the cut, and do not dip your right side tyres past that right line there, because the car will go straight and you'll be kissing the wall. Now this is pretty much a 1-lane groove all around here. The cutting, turns 5 and 6, this is Reed Corner. Now we're into Sermon. Just look how much committed Rob is around here. Into Sermons. And now into turn 10, McPhillamy Park. Here we go. 6th gear again. Absolutely fully committed. And now into Skyline. Now into the S's. Absolutely tricky, complex of corners here. You've got to get this part of the track correct. Otherwise, you're on course for a nice solid lap time, especially in qualified. Now in towards the Dipper. Good place to overtake someone. And then in towards the Forest Elbow, and now onto the long Conrod straightaway, which cars will probably top out about 180 miles an hour, which we're riding again with Rob. He's touching 6th gear, 175 underneath the bridge. Use that little pavement there on the left to turn into turn 20, the chase. hard onto the brake into turns 21 and 22, getting the car a little bit sideways. Now going past the Almiral little bridge, slightly downhill, and then into turn 23, the last corner, Murray's corner, very bumpy. Very easy to get the car sideways on the exit, and that is a lap around. And Rob has set a nice lap time, 151.441. Let's see what Alex Austin can do, 153.1, and Brian Ross, who only recently came in. So he will go maybe, yeah, he'll go third quickest, and he will post a time of 157, 158, 159. 747, so that will put him in third place. Now is the Calsodic teams, and there is the championship leader, Sean Cool. He'll feel a little bit more relieved that Milton is not racing tonight. He's got a big buffer now over Adams. Most importantly though, Adams was quicker than Sean in practice, but now this is qualifying. He's got to give it everything he has. Into turn 2, into Griffin, sliding there, oversteer. That's going to cause him a couple of temps. So short went down to second gear, so that's going to cost him a few temps. Oh, he nearly dipped his tyres on that white line again. It is just completely flat. That corner is flat when you put when you dip your right side tyres on that white line. The D2 boys are out. So this is Sean Cole, championship leader, followed then by Schauler, who's just kissing the wall off of turn 5, and now he's going into Reeds, and Mark Thompson as well. So at the moment it is Adams from Clifford, from Austin is in second, and Brian Ross. Those are the three drivers that have set a lap time just yet. But again, we're looking again at Sean Cole, now going up towards the Conrod Straight. Took over Jake Hills right there. Sean had a pretty interesting sort of championship. He was going to start with the D2 team, then he left. Then we heard that Declan there was not competing in it, so Sean came back into the championship, drove for the D2 team. Then we found out a week later that Jake Hill was going to be quitting the league because he's going to be focusing on the upcoming touring car season. So Sean's took over that ride, so he's took over Jake Hill's points. And there he is now in the championship lead, and he comes across the line in a time of a 1:53.485. It's not quicker to beat Austin's time, but that will put him into third place. Now what will Schauler do as he just goes towards Murray's? And he will post just nearly a tenth slower than his teammate there. So he will go into fourth place. And let's see what Thompson will do. Thompson will go 56.2. He will be ahead of Brian Ross by 3.5 seconds. Now then, looking here at Callum Cripps. Now the D2 boys are heading out on track. No sign of Paris, so I don't think Paris is going to be racing. So D2 are going to be only having 2 cars here tonight. Into hell corner goes Callum. Callum looked very quick in practice. Yellow flag being waved there. Oh, and that was Piper. Piper was just coming out of the pit lane. I don't know if Piper was playing a bit of mind games then, sort of. Let's see what he can do as he goes round Griffin's. Third gear, nice and tight through there. Using all the track on the exit, looking lovely. And now in towards the cutting. And he plants his car in the middle of that corner there. Now up the tricky sort of corners here. Watch that throttle just tinkle a little bit around here. Yep, there you go. Using a lot of the curb through there. Now into McPhillamy. And then into Skyline. This is where Callum had a bit of a problem in his practice runs. Oh, sliding it there through the S's. Did you see that full opposite lock on go in the middle of the S's? Now into the dipper. Again, the rear end wants to just jump out there, using all of the exit there. That was lovely. Didn't kiss the wall. Time to beat 1:51.441, which Callum is capable of doing. Fortunately, we don't know what his lap times is. We will see Corkery and Adam Piper going through. So here we go, but into the chase now for Callum Cripps. Hard on the brakes. He's got to get this absolutely bang on perfect. The time to beat is a 1:51.441 set by Adams. It's going to be close, you know. It's going to be very close, you know. It could be quicker. It could be quicker. It is... Oh! 1:51.471, only 300 slower than Rob's time. Unbelievably close. Here comes Corkery. He goes a 53.2. He goes ahead of Sean Cool. So, technically, that's Corkery up into 4th, and Cool is down to 5th. Unbelievably close there. So here comes Piper, the lone Playboy racer. And out goes the Pennzoil driver. McEwen went out first, then Edwards. And then Clifford will join too. Oh, Milton says just got home too late or restart the qualified. I don't know. That's up to that's up to Liam or Sean. I'm not too. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think you could join, possibly. Give it a try, I suppose. Anyway, into McPhillamy goes Adam. And now in towards Skyline, into the S's. Oh, he's got it all wrong. Oh, he made a mistake through turn 12. One extremely wide. Now went into the dip out. Into the Forest Elbow and then on towards the Cornwall Straight. Flash of the light again. Flash of another light again. Lovely camera angle that is there of going in towards the chase there. Lovely camera angle. So let's see what Piper could do here. I don't think it's going to challenge the pole position, but it could improve to maybe go ahead of Sean Cool. Probably not. He'll go slower than Cool by the looks of it, and indeed he will. That will put him in 7th place. 1:53.778. And now we wait for Pennzoil. Liam leading the way. Then Clifford and then Lewis Edwards, who's been fastest in practice. So, you know, Adams has set the benchmark. Just wanting to see if Piper actually moves out of the way there for Piper. Yeah, Piper's just reverse putting his car in towards the pit lane the wrong way, but this is what we're going to be seeing here. I mean, these times Lewis and Rob have been swapping for top spot in terms of practice times, and you can see there Edwards, he is a 10th up. He is purple in the first sector. Now this is where the tricky bit is. And we've just been told there by looking at Sean there, Ben is going to come into this, but he has to start in last place. So Ben trying to make a championship of this now, which is good to see. We wanted to see that. I think that will probably make Sean a little bit nervous now that Ben is going to be racing. But like I says, he's got to... Oh, look at this then. This could be into the 150s dead here for Edwards. He is 4 tenths up on Adams' time here. Now then in towards the dipper we go. We've got 10 people watching. Hello to the 10 people that are watching this. You're going to be seeing a close run competitive championship finale, I can tell you that here. So let's have a look then at McEwen. McEwen's going to be the first of the Pennzoil drivers to come across the line. Let's see what Liam can do as he takes a lot of curb through muddies. Now onto the start finish street he goes. It will be a 1:52.717. That puts him in 3rd place. Luke Clifford will come 154.1. That will put him in 9th place, but all eyes is on Edwards here. Can he go into the 50s? He does indeed. A 150.678. That's stamping your authority on pole position. Just over 3/4 of a second quicker than Rob Adams, and Adams will start 2nd. Sean Cool will start in 7th. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how your qualifying looks. So there you go, confirmation there. Lewis Edwards there with a mammoth pole time, 1 minute 50.678. Just, over 3/4 of a second quicker than Rob in his Zent Lexus. Then Callum Cripps in 3rd, and then it is the 2nd of the Pennzoil Nissans. That is McEwen in 4th, 152.717, nearly just over 2 seconds off Edwards' time. Alex Austin, solid lap time from Alex. He will start 5th. Coleman Corkery in 6th. Sean Cool will start in 7th place there for his championship run. I think Sean could be a little bit nervy starting in that position. Then Schauler, his teammate, will start in 8th. Adam Piper will start 9th, but now he's got some help with his teammate Ben Milton being in this race, but he's going to be starting dead last. Luke Clifford will be 10th. Mark Thompson 11th, and Brian Ross will be 12th, and also, like I says, 13th place will be Ben. So there you are then, ladies and gentlemen. What a lap time from Lewis Edwards there to go into that pole position with a stunning lap time. Can he convert that pole into a win? We're going to have to find out in about a couple of minutes time, actually, when we are going to be rejoining here. Oh, Sean's just saying we're going back to the pits when the race starts. Okay, no worries. So that is it. That's the end of qualifying. Piper's just parking his car on the exit of the pit lane. We've got time remaining 3 minutes to go. I'm going to take a little break, eat myself a banana, and we will get ourselves sort of ready for the finale of the championship. Oh, I think, is this the final? I think this must be. So, here we go. It is the final round, I think. I think it possibly will be. So, I think it is. Yeah, I can see Moden in the back. So, this is the final round of the championship. It is Edwards, Adams, Cripps, McEwen, Austin, Corkery, Cool will start 7th. He will start 7th. Then it's Showler, Piper, Clifford, Ross, Thompson and Ben. And we're underway for the finale of the championship. So as the field goes side by side into the first corner, let's see how Sean gets through. Oh, and McEwen's been hit, and Sean's into the kitty litter. Sean's been hit to the kitty litter. It's absolute madness already on the opening lap. Clifford's got into the gravel as well as Sean Gould. Let's see what happened then. Oh, wow, someone just went into him. Was that Piper? I want to see from Adam Piper's view here. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe it was Piper because he's up into 5th position already. So I don't know if Piper's Playboy penetrated someone like a porn star. But anyways, we're back into the action, and it is Edwards with the lead. Closely followed by Adams in that 2nd place. And this is not what Sean needed for the championship. He's in 9th place. And there is the championship protagonist, Ben, there up into 9th place. Hopefully that wasn't a tactic, though, from Piper to say, cause a big wreck. I hope not. That'd be quite dirty there for that to happen. So Ben already up into 9th position, Sean Coote in 10th, but it's still good enough to give Sean the championship if he's ahead of Ben. And there's more carnage there, as I see there Brian Ross getting it all wrong through the S's. Actually, he got up into 7th place, did Brian. You can see he's already got a lot of damage on the back end of that Zen. But let's see, going towards the S's, just sort of gets it all wrong. Yeah, the car didn't want to steer at all. And then Ben got it sideways. He gets by Brian. So too does Sean. Just about, roughly. So there you go. So coming in through to complete the first lap. Piper is known for his accidents. Well, there you go. Close battle now for 2nd place then. Rob Adams versus Callum Cripps. They're just going through. Then Alex Austin there showing some good pace in that Zen Nexus there. The Zen boys are really showing some good potential here in this race. They've got the drivers 2nd and 4th respectively. More importantly though, Ben Milton up into 8th place and Sean Coote in 9th. It's still good enough to give... Oh, actually, I'll have a look at the championship points then as it stands right now. So Sean Coote is sitting on 178, whereas Adams is sitting on 178. But like I said, Sean Coote's got 2 wins to his name. Rob hasn't, so Sean is still the champion if things stand as it is, as he gets there. Griffin's all wrong and kisses the wall. Good battle going on for 2nd place. Decent battle going on for 4th place there. Alex Austin, can he hold off Piper in that Playboy Lexus? Let's go again with Ben. And you can see Sean Coote all over the back of the guy that's 2nd in the championship. You ride on board with Sean Coote going towards McPhillamy. Just nearly gets that all wrong. Going into its Skyline. There's a bit of a gap between Showler to Milton just ahead. I mean, there is 32 laps around here, so this is going to be a mammoth race for these drivers here. Literally any driver is going to make a mistake around here, I can promise you that. Now then, Sean tucked up into the slipstream of Ben's Lexus here, going up toward Conrod Straight. And then in towards the Chase they go for the 2nd time of 32 into turn 20 now. Early on the brakes there. Now look also further behind. You see there Luke Clifford is catching them too. And Lee McEwen a far distant back in 11th place after that incident in the first lap, which I think may have started with Adam Piper just forgetting to use his talent in turn 1. We'll keep an eye out on that championship battle, but already Edwards is storming away. There's nearly 3 seconds he has over Rob Adams, and you can see Adams trying to, you know, hold on to that 2nd place because Cripps is really looking racy here early on in this race. Then you've got Alex Austin, who's sort of pulled away a little bit from Piper, and you've got Corkery there up in 6th, who is nearly 5 seconds ahead of Schauler, and you can see the gap, and you can see there also a pass being made there. Sean Cool has passed there, Ben Milton, so let's see how that happened. Just going up towards the mountain straight into Griffins. Did Ben make a mistake here? I just ran wide, yeah, Ben just ran wide, and Sean says thank you very much, I'll take that 8th place, thank you. So he's up into 8th place. And there's yellow flags are being shown. Who could that be? Oh, it's Corkery. Corkery's had a moment there at McPhillamy going into its skyline. Let's have a look. It's on board with Corkery. So going into its Solman. Kisses the wall there into McPhillamy. Does he hit the grass on the exit? Indeed he does. And that spins the car around. And that's a hard contact. That's a lot of damage there. Front right, and rear assist damage there done to that D2. He's all the way down. He's down into 7th place. Hasn't lost a bit of time. But also notice there, Ben's gone by Sean, and now Ben's having a look on the outside, going towards the chase. This is going to be tense here. Oh, can we have the camera angle? Oh, Ben shuts the door, and Corkery's face. There was a little bit of contact. Watch out for Cool though. Cool can pick up the pieces here. No. But he will go up into 8th place. So Ben up to 7th, back into 7th, passes Sean Cool yet again. But Corkery down into 9th place, and Clifford is there too in that 10th place, and Liam has fallen farther back, and Luke has just passed Corkery, so Corkery down to 10th place. He's lost like what, 4 positions on that lap because of that incident at the exit of McPhillamy. So disastrous there for Corkery. His teammate though is still on the back of Rob's Lexus, so yeah, Alex is having a bit of distance away from Piper in 5th, and they're still pulling away a little. Well, they are still pulling away from Schauler. The gap now nearly up to 6.5 seconds. Only four laps in there, so that's what, 1.5 seconds a lap maybe. So Schauler up into a decent 6th position, but he's losing a lot of time to the guys ahead. And if he's not careful, you're going to have Milden and Sean all over you too. Who's that then in last place? Who was that in last place? Oh, it's Brian Ross. He's just going through Griffins. Already 44 seconds off the pace. And I don't think you put that much practice in, to be fair, as Brian Ross. But give a shout out to him, though. He's still been enjoying this championship, so fair play to him. Mark Thompson in the 3rd of the Calsonic Nissans, sitting in 12th place, and Liam McEwen now has actually caught up now to Clifford, so I wonder if Clifford had a little mistake which allowed McEwen to catch up to him. Will there be some team orders there? You can see also further forward too, as you can see Edwards having a look, McEwen to the inside of Clifford. More importantly though, Cool's going to go around the outside of the chase, and then can he get it stick? Side by side through there. Ben's going to hold on to 7th place. Are they catching up though to Schauler? No, it's not. It's up to 3.5 seconds now. So the way they keep on battling, it's going to allow Schauler to pull away. Back up front with the leaders, and the gap is slowly coming down now. 2.2 seconds the advantage now that Edwards have over Adams. Callum Cripps is falling a little bit back on Adams now. It's down to one. It's the gap up to about over a second. So Callum not had a good lap there. 152.5 compared to the 151.9 that Rob did. Alex still holding on to that 4th place there, so solid effort from Austin, on course for his best finish of the season. Piper there in 5th. But again, meanwhile, our eyes are looking at this battle here for 7th place between the guys that are 1st and 2nd in the championship. So as it looks as it is right now, Adams will be on 184. Sean Cool will be on 182. Oh, 182. And yeah, 182 for Ben, for Sean, sorry, and Rob will be on 184. So Rob has the championship in his pocket now, if things stand as it is. So Sean's got to get a move on. He's got to do some racing here. He's lost a bit of time to Ben. It's now over a second. So as things stand as it is, the championship is going to go to Rob Adams at this rate. And to be fair, he is sort of catching up on. Oh! I think Edwards had a huge run on the exit of Hell Corner. Let's see. Did he put on the power a little bit too early? This was the 6th lap. I think he had a massive moment off of turn 1, Hell Corner. Yeah, gets on the grass. Oh, goodness me. That was well held. That was such a good save. But he's going to lose an awful lot of time. And indeed he has. He's lost nearly like over 2 seconds over that. So now Edwards has got a race on his hand. And he's sliding that Penzo around through the cutting. Just kisses the barrier there so the sparks fly. But Adams can probably smell blood here. Adams can definitely smell blood because he can see Edwards might be a little bit wounded after that moment in the Hell Corner, and the gap is less than within a second. And Cripps there too. So the top 3 all separated by 1.6 seconds. They pulled out a huge gap over Alex Austin there. Nearly 7 seconds he has behind to Callum's D2 Nissan. Then it is still Adam Piper, who is slowly pulling away from Schauler. But now, what's happened here? What has happened? Oh! And Clifford has spun through McPhillamy. Something has happened earlier because Ben's down to 11th. And we've missed that, unfortunately. Oh, we missed it. We actually missed it. We were going to see Clifford spinning in McPhillamy. But can we see what happened? No, we're too late. God damn it. We saw Luke spinning McPhillamy, so Ben is down to 11th place. So that puts Sean still into 8th place, but still Rob can win the championship if he stays where he is. Like I says, Rob will finish on 184 points, Sean will finish on 182. Adam Piper's the first to come into the pit lane, so he's not going to go for a 3-stop strategy. He's going for a 4-stop strategy. Let's see what the gap is now. Oh, over just a second. So Edwards is finding a little bit of momentum, sorry. But as far as I know, Rob can actually race these tyres on 8 laps. And Lewis said before I went into to my party chat for the commentating, said he is struggling to do 8 laps around here. So it's going to be absolutely tricky here. Meanwhile, again, looking at Sean Cole all over the back of Corkery, going in towards Griffin's. And also further forward there, Adam Piper on a fresh set of soft tyres is closely followed up by Schauler. And I'll tell you what, Piper must have made a mistake because I don't think he put fuel in the car. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at Schauler, my apologies. Yeah, he did put some fuel in the car, about 75%. But it's a definite Piper is not going for a 3-stop, and he gets it all wrong and spins it! Holds on to it though, but that's going to allow Corkery, and there's contact! And there was nothing that Sean Cool could have done there. He tried to avoid Adam Piper. We're seeing it again here on a replay. He just gets the S's all completely wrong. The back end kicked out, tries to correct it. And literally, there was nothing that Sean could have done. Literally nothing that Sean could have done there. He tried to avoid Adam. He tried to avoid him. He even slid the car. So, you know, literally that was not Sean's fault. And he's down to 8th place again because McEwen's having a look on the inside and he's gone by. Has he? He is sort of. He has. So, the championship lead is just turning back and forth because we have seen him in 7th place. In fact, Sean's going in. Sean is going in. Sean comes into the pit lane from 8th place. He becomes the second driver to make a pit stop. Anyway, what's the gap now to the leader? 1.5 seconds now. So Edwards has found that rhythm yet again. But he's gained a lot though. His Adams over Edwards over this part of the track, going up the mountain at Mount Panorama. As we are at 1/4 distance complete. Edwards still leads with a gap less than a second between himself to Adams. Cripps 1.2 back. Then Alex Austin a further distant 8.5 seconds away. And then it is Schauler in 5th, who has got just over a 3-second advantage over Corkery. And then it's McEwen now into 7th place. And Adam Piper, who had that moment at the S's, is still sliding that Lexus around all over the track, is now in 8th place. And Ben in 9th place. And now he's also on a fresh set of soft tyres and all. Sean Cool down to 10th place. And then you got Clifford, who had a massive moment of the exit of McPhillamy. He's down in 11th place. Brian Ross in 12th. And Mark Thompson already 1 minute and 13 seconds away from the leader. And we're only a quarter-way distance complete. He could be lap twice at this rate. Anyways, the leader, Edwards, coming in as well as Adams. And is Cripps following? Yes, he is. Cripps follows suit. More importantly, though, look at the fuel gauges there. 22% for Lewis. Robert's got 18 and Cripps has got 19. So Edwards will come out a little bit ahead of Rob. Not unless if Rob is going to shortcut it, you know, maybe put short fuel in and save fuels for some distance. Also, Austin is in from 4th. So Edwards goes to 19. Rob goes on to, and I think Cripps gone out ahead, and indeed he has. So Callum Cripps comes out ahead of Edwards, and Adams now down to 3rd place. As McEwen, Austin still, oh well, Austin's coming out of the pits now. Corkery is also in, as well as Schauler. So it's now as we're starting to look at things here. So Piper's back up into 5th position. Schauler in 6th. Sean Cool in 7th. He's past Ben. And Corkery just comes out in that 9th position. So championship points now as it is. So Sean Cool will be on 188 points. Ben Milden will be on 173 and Rob Adams will be on 180. So the championship swings back in Sean Cool's favour. I tell you what, Callum Cripps must have put in less fuel than what Rob and Lewis has done, because he's come out now in the lead of the race. Now, can he hold it though? As Edwards kisses the wall off the exit of the Forest, the Dipper, sorry, my apologies. I tell you what, that is a titanious battle going on here. I think that's a word that I've just made up then. And you can see there, Alex still holding on that 4th place, but Piper, who was the first to pit actually, in that 5th place. Then Sean Cool, then Ben Milton, then Corkery, then McEwen. He's down now into 10th place, just ahead of his teammate Clifford in 11th, then Brian Ross in 12th, and then Thompson in 13th place. On to lap 9 out of 32. Blue flags are being waved. There's no lap traffic actually. So I don't know what the organisers saw, something in blue flag. But anyways, Cripps in the lead. Guy who took the first win of the Super DTM for, I think it was for the D2, I think it was actually D2's first win last week at Suzuka. Now looking at Callum Cripps' championship here, he will be on 184 points. Sean Cool in 7th will be on 186. So there you go. Again, Sean Cool will have the championship by over 2 points. And Rob Adams on 180. So what is it now? 186 to 184 to 180. That's how unbelievably close that is. 6 points separating. If things standard as it is right now, Sean Cool will win the championship by 2 points over Callum Cripps in 2nd, and Rob Adams will finish 3rd in the championship, as he's getting a little bit anxious now. You can see making a few mistakes here and there, but he's pulled a massive gap away from his teammate Austin, over 17 seconds, who's got it sideways through the S's, and Ben's left. Ben is left. That's game over for Ben's championship, unfortunately. So we're now down to 4 drivers at least. Battle now for that 4th position. It is Austin versus Piper. That's pretty much handed the team's championship as well to Playboy, with Milden unfortunately retiring in this race. And here we go. Austin holding on, defending for that 4th place over Piper. Callum setting the fastest lap of anyone, 151.235, which was nearly about, what, 6 tenths slower than the qualifying time. Back up front, and the gap is slowly coming down. Less than a second now between Edwards, but I think Edwards nearly had a moment through there, and indeed he does. He's lost some time, but he started clawing his way back, and you can see Adams 1.5 seconds back, so sort of struggling on this stint of time. On this stint is Adams. Meanwhile, Sean Cool, 7th place is still good enough for him to win the championship at this rate, but he'll probably want to cement it a bit further because he's got his teammate just ahead, Shaula, and I wonder if Shaula will play team orders in this and let Sean Cool go by, so then the points gap will extend. It'll be another 4 points by that matter, so it'll be up to 6 points come the end of the championship. And the gap is slowly coming down, 1.7 seconds. Corkery holding on to that 8th place. Liam McEwen in 9th. Then in 10th place is Clifford. Then Thompson in 11th and Brian Ross into 12th. And one retirement, that is Ben Milton. So that was championship over for Ben, unfortunately. In fact, Ben is going to be very close to being lapped, and we're not even half distance just yet. Anyways, the gap is now starting to grow now. 1.3 seconds now from Cripps to Edwards. And Adams now nearly going down to 2 seconds. So Adams, he's pushing it, to be fair. He's really pushing the car. Either way, it's going to be a good points day then for the Zent boys, even though they've got Brian Ross sitting in 12th place on a decent 8 points. But they've got Adams and Austin sitting 3rd and 4th, and that is a combined total of 76 points. So this is going to be a good points day for Zent. And, you know, they've caught up late in the championship. They did pick up some decent points at Suzuka last week, as well with Austin and Adams. But it's too little too late for them to win the team's championship, as they were 62 points behind Penzo going in towards the final race. Let's get back again with the leaders now, and the gap is extending over 2 seconds now from Edwards, and now Adams is starting to close in now, 1.5 seconds, but they've got a mammoth 21 seconds ahead of Alex Austin in the second of the Zent Lexuses, and Piper, whose tyres are starting to fall off the cliff, is slowly losing that gap away from Austin, because he was the first to make the pit stops. Because he pitted in on lap 6, I believe it was. Yeah, you can see from the lap time there was a 2:06, so that was a pit lane. Oh, goodness me. And if more than anything, Shaula is catching up to Piper. Yeah, the gap now less than 2 seconds, but the gap now is less than half a second from Sean Cool to Shaula. Now, like I said, will team orders come into play here? And we'll let Shaula let by Sean Cool here. I think Piper's just going into the pit lane to make a second pit stop. So I think as things stand as it is, I think Piper's possibly going for a 5-stop strategy. If you can only do 6 laps on these tyres, that's going to be a 5-stop strategy. It's right on board with Sean Cool, getting close to the back of his teammate Rob Shaula on lap 13 out of 32, so 20 laps to go. He gets close up into the back of Shaula. Shaula getting, look at the oversteer on that Nissan. Now into the cutting. Oh, I tell you what, Shaula, they're nearly touching that, going over that white line. What do you think in the chat then? We've got 9 people watching. What do you think in the chat then? Do you think this is going to be an entertaining race of it? Obviously the gap is sort of like spreading out between the top 3, but you know, it's been quite enjoyable so far. And we're still riding on board with Sean Cool. It's good enough for him to take the championship at this point, but you know, he'll probably want to solidify that even more if he wants to get ahead of his teammate Schauler. And you can just see further up forward though, Alex Austin. You can just see that little there 4th place they're showing. That's Austin just ahead. Oh, cool sideways there. Owen kisses the wall. That's going to lose him a little bit of time. Gap over 8 seconds between himself to Corkery in 7th. Piper comes out of the pits to make his second stop in 8th place. Listen to the car flat out. Listen to it. High on the rev limit there, 188 miles an hour as he passes the chase. Looking at the map on the top right there, looks like Adams has sort of distanced himself away from Edwards in second. Looks like Edwards is still keeping Callum Cripps honest in the lead. As we're on to lap 14 out of 32, so pit stops again will roughly happen in about 2 laps for the main leaders at least. Riding on board now with Adam Piper, the lone Playboy racer now. It's got Corkery just ahead. Forget Piper did put on a fresh set of soft tyres, so out again goes Piper. Catching up to the back of Corkery in that D2 Nissan just ahead. Liam nearly 4 seconds away from this. Back up front, gap 1.2 seconds from Callum to Lewis. And then Rob. Oh no, my apologies. I thought that arrow, that must have been Brian. That must have been Brian Ross. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, my apologies there to Rob. So it was Brian Ross. And actually, Brian's setting his best lap at the moment here. So let's keep with Brian. His best lap has been a 1:56.446, even though it is, what, nearly 5 seconds slower than the fastest lap. But this will be a nice lap time here for Brian. Let's see if he improves. Let's keep up with him. See if he does improve as he goes through Murray's for the last corner. Oh, and he gets it all wrong, and Brian just gets the corner completely wrong, kicks up a bit of grass on the exit and then hard into the wall, and he's got engine front and front right, left damage done to that there, but he was on course to do his best lap there. Such a shame. It will go away definitely. Watch the car damage there. It will disappear within 10 seconds. It should disappear within 10 seconds or 20. There it goes. Sean into the pit lane. Sean Cool into the pits. This will be his second pit stop. He's putting fuel in the car, putting on another fresh set of soft tyres as we're nearly halfway complete. Callum still with the lead over Lewis Edwards, and then Rob Adams in third, then Alex Austin in fourth, Schauler fifth, and that means Adam Piper's gone up into 6th place, so he's past Corkery. McEwen in 8th, and Sean Cool down into 9th place. And he's got just about over 12 seconds ahead of Luke Clifford. There he is, in the third of the Pennzoil Nissans. It's obviously going to be good here for Pennzoil because they're going to win the Teams Championship. However, the Drivers' Championship could go to Sean Cool, possibly. Now then, oh, I tell you what, Edwards is closing up into the back of Callum now, so got ourselves a 3-car battle for the lead of the race. Anyone coming into the pits? Oh, I thought Callum was trying to fake one out, and indeed he does. He's the only one that's going to come into the pit lane. That will probably be because of the fact that he put in less fuel than what Lewis and Rob done. So I think Callum is going for the undercut here. So now Lewis is back into the lead. Rob into 2nd place and catching 2. Right on board with Rob. Provisionally now 2nd in the championship with Rob, unfortunately retiring in this race. And the gap slowly coming down. That's what the slipstream does to you. Lap car just ahead of Lewis. That'll be Mark Thompson. Up there in 11th place. Now then in towards the cutting. Edwards gets it a little wide. He made the cutting a little mistake now. And now the gap has really came down. Both of them really struggling on those soft tyres now. I wonder if Callum's undercut may have worked here, because they are both on one tyres, and you can just see them just struggling through these series of corners here, not taking a flat out what they did before. Now then into the S's. The gap now already down to 14 seconds with Adams to Cripps. And Thompson moving well out of the way there. Good driving that from Mark. Very good awareness there from Mark Thompson. Now in towards the Dipper. Then in towards the Forest Elbow. And then up the Conrod Straight. The gap now up now over to 8 tenths. Now it's down to 7 tenths. They will be putting this time by. Look at the gap between themselves to Cripps now. 13 seconds, and it is still coming down. This is going to be so interesting to see here, because we will see Edwards and Adams make their pit stop. But I think by my reckoning, I think Cripps will go to take the lead back. The undercut will have definitely worked. And you can see that Edwards saved fuel again. And I don't think Rob did. Oh, I tell you what, this is going to be tight. This is going to be very, very tight on the exit. Going into Hell Corner. Is Edwards going to lead the way, or is it going to be Adams? We'll find out in about a couple of seconds' time. As Edwards putting in the fuel. He comes out. Does he come out ahead of Callum Cripps? No, he doesn't. So Cripps will go ahead. The undercut worked. So it's pretty much status quo as you were before, as Austin comes into the pit lane. So too does Schauler. No sign of Sean Cool at the moment. He's there in 9th place. I'm thinking, did he have a moment? Because looking at his lap time, he did a 1:52, so he was 2 seconds slow with that lap. But he did pit on lap 13, and more importantly, comes out ahead of Schauler. But Schauler's got about 3 laps tyres fresher than Sean. So championship points, as it looks, Sean Cool will be on. He's in 5th position, so Sean Cool will be on 194 points. Ben Milton, who will finish in 13th place. Oh, Brian hits the wall extremely hard. That was through Reed Corner, that was. So Ben will finish on 159. Rob will finish on 180. Callum will finish on 184. And Lewis Edwards will finish on 170. So Sean will still have the championship. 194, 118. Yes, I think it's like that. Yeah. So Sean's got to keep this nice and tidy here. He doesn't need to do any battling here. He does have a big points lead when as things as it stands. Back up front with the leaders there. They come through to start the second half of this race. So let's give you a rundown then. Callum Cripps in the lead. The gap now just less than a quarter of a second, 3/4 of a second now from there. And Rob Adams must have made a mistake on that lap time, because he's all the way down now 3.5 seconds back off the top 2. Adam Piper's actually gone ahead. What has happened to, I've just noticed that Alex Austin's down to 7th place. But we'll see it anyways. Sean Cool in 5th position. He just goes through Muddies. Schauler into 6th place, and Alex Austin all the way down in 7th. Then it is Liam McEwen in 8th. He's just going by Muddies. I was going to say McLaren. I don't know why. Coleman Corkery in 9th place. And in 10th place there is Luke Clifford. 11th place is Mark Thompson, but is just about to be lapped yet again from the leaders. Here they come. So again, Mark moves out of the way, kisses the wall multiple times. Still good awareness though for Mark to move out of the way of the leaders. And then Brian Ross in last place, well, 12th place and 1 retirement. That is Ben Milton, unfortunately. going to be silent here for a lap because I'm going to eat this banana because my throat is nearly going away. So let's just, you know, ride on board with Lewis Edwards for a lap around here as he's starting to close up on the back of Cripps Nissan. Hope you enjoyed the lap there with Lewis Edwards for a lap around Bathurst Mount Panorama as we're coming on to start lap 20 out of 32. Callum's still with the advantage though, but the gap is up to 1.5 seconds. Rob Adams slowly catching up now to Edwards. The gap now to 2.5 seconds, and then Sean Cool is now up into 4th position. So Piper must have done his 3rd pit stop, indeed he has. So Piper now up into 4th position. More good news for his championship, as that will be now, he's nearly gone over to the 200 point mark, but I think 4th is going to probably be the best that Sean can do, because you can and he gets it all wrong off Muddies. Can't afford to be doing that, Sean. You've got the championship in your bag. Don't need to do some risky, mistakes out there. Now Showler's all over the back of his teammate. Now Showler's got to play the team role here and let Sean just stay ahead for the Drivers' Championship. Obviously, Cow Sonic's not going to win the team's championship, but you still got to play as the team role here. Oh, can Showler upset the party there? I don't think he will. I think he'd be too smart of a driver not to do that. But anyway, Sean there, massive moment there, and you can see his the right light thingy so smashed up. He's looking then at Alex Austin in 6th position so far. Don't know how he's down there in 6th position. I don't know, because he's been 4th for the majority of this race. I don't know if that 2nd pit stop he put in more fuel than expected. But either way, this is still a good showing this from Alex Austin, and he was to me, I think Alex was starting to get the gist of driving this car by the looks of it. He did well with Suzuka last week. Sort of struggled around the Red Bull ring, where I think it was his debut. But he's got to grips with this car, and he's having some consistent finishing there. Finishing in the mid-top 10. So, Alex having a solid effort there. Actually closer to the back of Showler, just ahead. If there was more races of this championship, I would guarantee you Alex Austin will be fighting for the podium. No doubt about it. Back up front. Oh my goodness me, Edwards there. Massive moment on the exit of the cutting, and he was all over the back of Cripps, and now he's lost that time, lost that momentum, and the gap has already gone up again. Callum there just shortcutting, cutting some grass there through Reed Corner. I hope Chris Clement is still watching. Your hero is leading the race here. And that's what Callum is doing. He's doing everything he can here for him to win the championship. Unfortunately, he comes into this 28 points behind the leader, Sean Cool, but it's still not good enough for him to win the championship, because Sean, as you can see, they're in 4th place. Pit stop should be roughly happening in about 4 laps, but more importantly though, Callum will have to pit first, because he was the first one that pitted ahead out of the top 3 in this race, and that's what got him back in the lead because of the undercut. And Adams is starting to lose the gap now for the leader. He definitely is, like he definitely is. 2.5 seconds now he has away from Edwards, so Adam's starting to lose a little bit there, as we can see back again with his teammate Alex Austin, still catching up to the back of Schauler's Nissan. Just ahead there, Sean Cool in 4th place, going up the Conrad Straight and then into the chase. Still keeping having a look at the top 3 there, because they look quite close together looking at the map there, as well as the battle for 4th place as Sean Cool tries to wanting to pull away on the away from Schauler. And you can see Alex Austin still, he is getting closer, but slowly but surely catching up to the back. Now he's within slipstream distance because the gap is less than a second. Adam Piper there, who's battling with Liam McEwen. This looks like it's the only battle that's out on track at the moment. McEwen goes to the outside. It's the Griffins. Oh, and then makes a mistake, so he's going to lose a bit of momentum. That did McEwen. So McEwen's charge for 7th place not happening just yet. But Piper makes a mistake through the cutting, and it's going to allow McEwen to catch up now. Corkery all alone now in 9th place. He's 5.1 seconds behind Edwards, but he's 24 seconds ahead of McEwen, who is actually close enough. In fact, Brian Ross is actually catching up to, but that's not a battle for position as Clifford hits the wall off the exit of Griffins. It's not a battle for position, it's just their Bride is now fully a lap down. I think the leaders are very close together, and in fact Edwards is leading. Edwards has taken over the lead of the race, so let's have a look what happened here. Oh, Callum gets it all wrong on the exit of Murray's, and Edwards doesn't need any invites there. That's the lead of the race done, and Chris Clements will be not happy about that. Oh, and in fact, and I think, did he get squeezed out there? Did Callum get squeezed out? Let's see. He goes to the outside, up the mountain straight. So he's having a look. He's having a go on the outside. Oh, did he have some help? He may have had some help there from Edwards. Interesting. Very interesting. And you can see further back now, Rob is now within touching distance of this battle now. Now, don't forget, Callum pitted in 1 lap earlier ahead of Rob and Lewis. So I'm wondering if Callum will go for the undercut again, because you can see he's flashing red, so he has to pit probably this time. Alex Austin's now into 5th position. He's just gone by Schauler, so Austin up to 5th place. Schauler down to 6th, 3.5 seconds away from him to Sean Cool. Yeah, I see Clements is raging about that moment. And yeah, that was pretty much a Hamilton moment, what he did to Albon. As I said there, as predicted, Callum goes into the pits. This will be his last pit stop. He'll probably fuel it all the way to the very top. I'd imagine he'll have to do it all the way to the top. Maybe 95%, maybe. We'll see. Let's see what he comes out with. I'd say about roughly 95 to 100. Yep, 96, 95. Pretty much bang on. So that's Callum's last pit stop. The gap, 16 seconds, but it will close because don't forget, Rob... Hey, Rob is leading! Rob's leading now! So Lewis has had a terrible moment. What has happened here? So he's going into Griffin's. Oh, he clips the curb and it tank slapped into the wall. And then here comes Edwards. And then watch this camera angle. Oh, I thought they were going to slide their way through. But Adams now into the lead of the race now. And he's starting to pull away. Oh, I think also too, while we were seeing this battle out front there, Sean Cool's also just come out of the pits. And he's down in 9th place. And he's got Corkery just ahead. So I think Sean may have done his last pit stop. But wow, lead changing there, happening all the time with this last few laps of the race as we're coming into 2/3 of this distance complete now. And it's been all happening up at the front. We did see Callum Cripps lead for a while, then he made a mistake at Murray's corner, which gifted the lead to Lewis Edwards. Then, you know, Callum tried to pass back around the outside, did that Hamilton on Albon sort of manoeuvre, pushed him off into the tyre wall. And then Edwards had a moment as well through the Griffins, which handled that pretty much gifted the lead back to Rob Adams. And now both of them are into the pit lane. Now where is Crispy? Here he comes, just coming towards Murray's. But again, look at the fuel difference there. Rob's got 1 to Lewis's 11. It just goes to show that Edwards is saving fuel and Adams is not. So this could play a part in this. Has the undercut worked again for Callum? I don't think of that. Oh, they're going to be side by side off of Hell Corner. And Cripps just goes ahead. But only just. So yet again, the undercut worked again. But I tell you what, Callum will not be happy with what Lewis did to him a couple of laps ago when he pushed him off into the tyre wall at this corner. Austinson from the pits from 4th position. Piper, I'd imagine, is going to go for yet another pit stop. You can see his fuel gauge is down to about 25%, as McEwen is also in, as well as Corkery. So this will allow Sean Cool to go back up. There he is. He's going to be back into 5th position. Like I said, it's still good for Sean to be the Drivers' Champion for the inaugural #Track Addict Super DTM, brought to you by the SBR. So Austin comes out in 6th. Behind Sean. And you can see the gap now between Adam Piper to Sean is just about 6 seconds, but Adam has to pit again. I don't think Sean will know about this, but Adam definitely does have to pit. We want to see the battle here for the lead though, because it is still raging on. It's been going on pretty much all race, and again Adams doesn't look too good on his outlap because he falls so much distance away. I'm wondering if it's because of the fact that because of the fuel wear, because Rob to me has not been saving fuel, whereas Lewis has. And you can see the difference though, that the gap is so big when they come out the pits. Let's have a look then at Liam McEwen there in 7th place, just over a second ahead of Corkery in 8th, and Charlotte down in 9th place. He's just going through Solomons and then into McPhillamy. There he goes. There's a nice lovely shot there of all the view from Mount Panorama from the top there. Now the decline down the mountain. It was this part of the track where Chaz Boston made one of the passes on their JB Win Cup to win probably what was the best V8 supercar race. I think that was back in 2014. One of the best finishes to date that I know of. Back again up front, and Piper there. Yeah, like I said, Piper's in the pit lane. This will be probably his last pit stop. In fact, he's actually got some damage there too. So damage on the back of his Lexus. And he will come out just ahead of Liam McEwen in 6th place. So Sean back up to 4th, Alex in 5th, and Piper now in 6th. And I don't think he'll catch up Alex Austin, because the gap is almost 9 seconds unless Alex makes a mistake, which, to be fair, he hasn't done this whole entire race, is there, Alex? Back again out front, the leader, and now Adams is catching. Adams is slowly catching. 1.2 the gap now from Adams to Edwards. And it's less than half a second between Edwards to Cripps in the lead of the race. It's pretty much been the top three, the standout performers of this race. Cripps, Edwards and Adams. Which is really anyone's guess from fourth on backwards. But these three have put on a definite show for you guys that are watching. Got 9 people watching. John Thompson saying, attaboy Rob. Ash saying on a corner named Karma. Quite possibly, yep. That'll be Griffin's, I'd imagine. I mean, these top three have pretty much been nose to tail. Look at that, 27 laps in. We've done 50 minutes of racing and the gap only 1.2 seconds. That's how close it's been throughout the whole entire race. But Sean Cool, look at that, a distant 41 seconds back from the top three. Rob setting the fastest lap of the race, and you can see he's on it now. 1 minute 50.929, and he is closing up on the back of both Edwards and Cripps, but it's still going to be in vain because Sean Cool will still pick up the win in the title because he's sitting in that 4th position. Just noticing there's someone must have made a little pass, I think. Blue flags are being waved again for whatever reason. Looking up front then, here is Austin in 4th place. I think is he starting to close up on the back of Sean Cool. I think if Sean loses that 4th position, it's not going to harm him, I don't think. I'll look at by my maths. Oh, that's the track I put up there, my apologies. So if Sean was to lose a spot, he'll be on 194. And Adams in 3rd will be on 118. Yeah, it's still good enough to win the title. So if Sean was to lose a spot to Alex, it's still good enough to give him the title. Still got to go back though. 1.5 seconds though. So Cripps is probably going to set a mark now, as we've got 5 laps to go into the end of the race. And look at Adams go. Adams wants 2nd place. Now then, here goes the defence. Edwards will pull his car to the right hand side of the track. Gives him a little love tap just to make good friends. Now then, breaking in towards a sliding his way through. Sliding his way through Karma. That's what Ash would call it now. Callum doesn't look too confident around there, the cutting. Because he pulls out a big enough lead, but then he loses it a bit. So I wonder if Callum is not too keen around turns 3 and 4 there. But then this is where he really stretches his legs out. This part here. Listen to it. Into McPhilliby, 5 laps to go. Cripps still with the advantage. The gap between the top 3 just over 2 seconds now. Then in Piper in 6th position. Then it is McEwen in 7th, Corkery in 8th, Showler 9th, Clifford in 10th, Mark Thompson in 11th, and in 12th place is still Brian Ross, still going on, but I think to my knowledge he is 2 laps down already. Nearly on the verge of being 3 laps down in this race actually. So we've got 10 cars on the lead lap. The gap between 1st and 10th, 1 minute and 31 seconds. As you can see there, Luke still, even though he's not having a good race so far, but you know he'll probably be very happy considering that, you know, Pennzoil will probably lift up the team's championship, which will please Luke. I know Luke hasn't had the best of seasons there. He did have a strong outing at Suzuka before being punted from the rear from Adam Piper on a couple of occasions there because he was on course for some strong finishing. Was Luke. Don't forget he missed the first race of the season because he was in the lobby, but then he exited the lobby. But he was still in the lobby, but he exited it. Oh, careful! He did have a moment through McPhillamy early on in the race. He didn't want to repeat it again, which thankfully he didn't. Here we go, then back again with the leaders. And where is Adams? Adams is again falling back away from, falling away and again sliding his way through the S's. Pretty much Tokyo drifting his way through the skyline and then through the S's. Now into the dipper he goes. Yeah, the rear kicking out a lot in this race, isn't it? I know a lot of drivers were saying that they don't like this track, especially with these cars. They're not too fond of this track. Except for one, Chris Clements in the chat. Got 12 people watching here. We've got 4 laps to go to the end of the inaugural hashtag Track Addict Super DTM Championship. And as things stand at the moment, the Drivers' Championship will head to Sean Cool. But the Teams' Championship will head to Pennzoil as well. Got 12 runners still in the race. Unfortunately, still we have that one retirement. That is Ben Milden, unfortunately. And I think Rob, the tyre is looking a little bit worse for wear. Comparing that to Lewis's one, it looks a little better. 3 laps to go. The gap now nearly down to half a second. 20 people that have left a comment in. Thank you to them. Yeah, Ash said, I love the circuit. Getting to the top of the mountain right is so rewarding. And indeed it is there. Indeed it is. You saw the difference in the qualifying, how these 3 stood out there, because them 3 times were quite close together. And then you had like a very distant McEwen in 4th position because he was 2 seconds off Edwards' time. It's this part of the circuit, this is just pretty much a 1-lane groove around here, going up the mountain. Also McPhillamy as well, and then going into Skyline. This is all a 1-lane groove. This is not a good place to overtake someone. There's a very limited amount of places to overtake around here. Hell Corner, Griffins, and then you could maybe say the Cutting, but if you've got to be very brave if you're going to make the Cutting work. And then from then onwards, you've got to go to where these cars are at right now before another place to overtake someone, and then up towards the Conrad Straight where these drivers are right now, and then into the Chase is also another good place to overtake someone, and Muddy's Corner. So I mean, there's 23 corners on this track, and there's roughly about 5 corners that you can genuinely make an overtake on the leader. As you can see there now, Edwards nearly down to a 1/4 of a second as we've got 2 laps to go. Brian Ross, can he play a factor in the ending of this race? Into Murray's to go for then. This will be the penultimate time. No, sorry, this will be the penultimate lap now. So we've got 2 laps to go there as the flagman waving the blue flags to let Brian Ross know. Move out the way. You've got the top 2 there, nose to tail in this race now. 2 laps to go. Rob Adams is now a distant 3.1 seconds away from the top 2 in the race. So it's pretty much now a 2-horse race for the win. Will it be Callum? Will Callum pick up his second win? Will Edwards pick up his second win? We're going to find out in about 2, maybe 3, 4 minutes away. As we are nearly distancing the 1 hour race. 1 hour mark, sorry. Again, the marshals there waving the blue flags to let Brian Ross know. Move out of the way, because you could play a big factor here for the finish of the race here. It's just pretty much difficult considering where Brian Ross can move out of the way. As they're going into a Skyline now for the penultimate time, the gap is slowly coming up now to nearly half a second. There is Ross and that Zent Lexus there. Callum there using all of the track at 10:15. There goes Ross. He moves out of the way. So now it's a straight horse fight now for the win. There is a look at your champion in waiting, Sean Coe. If he can keep things right, if he holds on to that 4th place, he can even lose a spot to Alex Austin. It's still good enough for him to win the Drivers' Championship, but our eyes are going to be back on the lead battle. Half a second now as they're going into the chase for the penultimate time, and then down up the hill and then downhill for Murray's for the last time. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Callum, or is it going to be Edwards to win the final race of the inaugural Super DTM there? Callum gets it, 2 wheels on the grass there, and now he goes heavily defensive onto the last lap of the race. Edwards goes to the outside. Not going to do it there, but will he go for the crisscross? No, he doesn't. Callum there holds on to the lead, parks the car in the middle of Hill Corner and protects that lead now. Up to the mountain street we go. Past the supercharged bridge, down the hill. Edwards starting to close up. He tries to move to the inside, try to put Callum off. I think Callum is too experienced to do that there. More than anything there, Edwards made a mistake himself. He ran right through the cutting and he's lost a couple of attempts because of it. Now this is where Callum's not too keen at. That part of the track, that was where Callum was not too keen at there. Up at the cutting at turns 3 and 4. Now into Reeds. Gap going down slowly. Gap is still coming down to nearly 2/10 of a second. Into McPhillamy for the final time. Past the helicopter. Don't hit that curb, which they both haven't done. That's good. Now into the skyline, into the S's for the final time. The gap is going up now. Nearly 6/10 of a second. But Edwards is coming down. Edwards had a better run than Quips. Oh, and again, Callum heavily defensive there. That might have cost him there. There was a tap. There was a tap. That was like carbon copy of what Mostert did to Windcup in the 2014 Bathurst race. But Callum held the line. He held the racing line. He parked the car. Oh, can Edwards find a way? There's only just 4 corners to go. Can he make a do-or-dive attempt here to get his second win of the season? Here we go into the chase. He's not going to do it. It's going to be down to Muddy's corner. If Edwards can hold on, well, if he can make a pass, but I feel he's just a little bit too far back, I think. Yeah, I think he is, you know. Callum gets a little sideways, though. It's going to be a nearly grandstand finish, but it's going to be Callum Cripps takes his second win of the season. Edwards will finish second. Rob Adams will finish in third position. And then we'll wait nearly 42 seconds back to see your champion, Sean Cool, just going towards the Conrod Straight now for the last time. Great racing there between the top 3. That was some excellent racing, but all eyes is on Sean Cool. He will be the Season 1 champion of the Super DTM Championship. Here he comes in towards the S's. He could just literally coast it from here. I think Brian Ross will come across the line there to finish in 12th place, which I think he may have done. I don't know about what Thompson has as well, but here we go. Your championship driver here. Here he comes, Sean Cool. He goes slow, goes over to the mechanics. Sean Cool is the champion of Season 1. Alex Austin, his best finish of the season, will finish in 5th position. Then you've got a close battle with the finish there, which Adam Piper will go ahead, just ahead of Liam McEwen. So they're 6th and 7th respectively. Corkery will finish in 8th place. Good effort from him. Then we wait a long time for Schauler, 26 seconds behind Corkery, but 25 seconds ahead of Clifford. Here he comes through the chase. And Schauler, who had a pretty good middle stint there, was ahead of his teammate Sean Cool. But there we go, he will finish at a fairly respectable 9th place finish. And then we will wait again another far few back. Also, we've got to see Mark Thompson. Here he comes. Hope he didn't make a mistake. Oh, he's nearly out of fuel. Looking at his fuel gauge, he's nearly running on fumes. So we'll see Thompson coming across the line in 11th place. And then the last guy will be Luke Clifford. But also, more importantly, Pennzoil will win the team's championship. There goes... oh, in fact, Clifford's out. Clifford's out of fuel. And he will make it. He's just going through muddies. So congratulations then to the Pennzoil team. They win the team's championship as Clifford coasts his way across the line in 10th. There you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Season 1 for the hashtag Track Addict SBR Super DTM. Congratulations for Callum Cripps picking his second win in the last 3 races. It's not good enough for him to win the championship. That belongs to Sean Cool. Congratulations to Pennzoil. They won the team's championship. And there you are. That is it. that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, Sean's there, very happy in the chat there. Rob has left the room. Good effort from Rob, but it wasn't good to be. So anyways, congratulations to all the drivers that took part in this championship. It's been absolutely entertaining to watch. And yeah, like I says, well done to Sean Cool, your champion for Season 1. And well done to Team Pennzoil. They have won the Team's Championship. Season 2, I don't know what's going to happen for Season 2. I heard rumours that they may be going on Monday, which unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to commentate on. But I'm sure whoever's going to take the role for that will do a very good job now. Stay tuned as well for later on in the week for the SBR channel. We will have some live action as well. We've got the touring cars at race 2, as well as the Megans, which is, and also the Touring Car Classic, which I think we also made a new account. Nick has made a new account for the SBR channel, which will allow another racing stream to go on that channel. So we will have 3 live events going on at the same time. So until then, well, the host has ended the game. But yeah, I've been Sean. I'm lost for words now. I had what I was going to say and I've completely lost it. Like I says, congratulations to Cool winning the championship, winning the Drivers' Championship, and Team Pennzoil for winning the Team's Championship. I've been Sean. We'll see you again on Friday for the BTCC.